Hello, hello, my dear friends. Anyone awake so we can have a bit of a conversation here? Hello, hello, hello. Let's wait for some people to log on so we can have a bit of a chat here again, guys. Welcome to this live. Francis here, your host for this live stream, guys. You're so welcome again to Francis Page Media, where you always come to catch up with what is going on in the world of our British royals, guys. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. I must say, guys, that I was very, very sorry for our live yesterday. We did not get to finish the live on a good note because signal failure here. I think network dropped all of a sudden, so I didn't have those good remarks coming to the end of last night's live stream. But today I thought I come on very briefly, guys, just to have a bit of a conversation on something I thought would be very, very important to talk about right now. Before I go forward, guys, all these views, are my own views and nobody else's. Make sure to do your research, guys, so that we are on the same page with spreading these messages. But also, it allows us to share views. Um, all of us having a better grounding for the information that we are sharing on these live streams. But anyway, you're welcome again. Your host here, Francis Page. I'm good, Lorraine. Thank you so much for tuning in. So sorry yesterday, Lorraine. We had a systems failure here, so I couldn't carry on with the live stream last night. I noticed you logged on just as I was trying to figure out what was going on. But today I thought I come on again just to again catch up with some of those upcoming stories that have been going on in the world of our royals. Today we won't have so much to talk about. I just wanted us to just have a brief look at this situation which is going on right now with the royal family, specifically with William and Catherine. So we know William and Catherine are away on holiday, so they left as a family with all the children. We don't know where exactly. Okay. Uh, oh yes, yes, that was really, really kind of you, Lorraine. I'm really, really very glad. Where are you from, Lorraine? By the way, if you don't mind me asking, is that UK time as well, just as me here? Because I also have friends from United States who show up on this live, and I think they are 5 hours behind us. So I tend to hold these live streams around 9 o'clock so we can sort of, yeah, incorporate our friends who are across the Atlantic who might still be in work during daytime. So the reason I hold these live streams around this time is to allow people to sort of come and join us in these discussions without interfering with their work duties during daytime. But that was really, really great of you, Lorraine, to check in. And of course, your support for these messages and every single one of you on this live is what is keeping this channel growing every day. Sergio, it's 4 p.m. in Colorado. Okay, yes, ooh, 4 p.m. in Colorado. Wow. So it's still very early. It's coming to 11 o'clock here in the UK. Well, it's 5 past 11 o'clock. So yes, but being a Saturday, I thought, people stay late a little bit. So maybe an hour from now to midnight of a live stream would not be that bad. After all, we have a line in the morning, each one of us. I'm hoping, because I work Monday to Friday, so I tend to have a bit of a lane over the weekend. But thank you guys for tuning in here. Keep that support coming. I do appreciate every single one of you. So yes, there is an uprising issue in the palace right now, and we hear that William and Kate will be summoned by the Queen when they come back from their holiday with the family. So we know that the Queen is not very, very happy with their action recently of taking a jet as a whole family to for holiday. And I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll have a look here for Lauren. Only 5 past. Yeah. But I've myself to warm up, put my fan on to try and cool down a little. Yes, yeah, it's 5 past 11. Yeah, so you're in the UK, Lorraine. I am hoping because it's 6 past now, isn't it? Yeah, it's been really hot, but I'll surprise you guys. I'm having a cup of tea. Oh, anyone having a cup of tea like me, I'm really, really so addicted to cups of teas. And that's what happens when you live here in Britain, regardless of how hot the weather is, you will find yourself grabbing a cup of tea. Okay. And for your information, guys, a cup of tea helps to cool down. You know, I know that they advise drinking water, cold water. But when it gets too hot like this, I know something that helps me to cool down has always been my lovely cup of tea here. So, yeah, that's what happens in the UK. We love our cups of teas. Lorraine, are you having a cup of tea? Lily, thank you for logging in. Are you having a cuppa? Yes, yeah, you better grab one as well. Yes, so our story today is none other than William and Kate, and we want to look at this ongoing situation in the palace right now. We hear that Queen Elizabeth is going to summon Prince William and Catherine when they come back from their holiday. Okay. I stay in this weather. Yes, yes, lovely. Thank you so much, Lorraine. I've had this cup for a while now, but it's done me wonders. Yes. So the reason why the Queen wants to talk to William and Kate when they come back from holiday is none other than taking that private jet. And the issue is not that they took a private jet, um, but it's because she's worried what if this private jet crashes, or what if anything happens to this private jet and that whole line of succession disappears in a blink of an eye. That is Queen Elizabeth's main worry. But again, it's not just Queen Elizabeth who is worried, but also us royalists, because we think if we get William, Catherine, and all the children to vanish, not saying that it will happen, but the risk is so high, especially with what is going on in the world today, with wars in Ukraine and all these other places. You never know, okay? Small planes like that one could easily be mistaken for something else. So the Queen's concern here is, why did William and Catherine take this plane with all the children all bunched up together? What if something happens to this little plane that they went in? And we know that William on a number of times has been summoned by the Queen, again to do with flying aeroplanes, because obviously we know William was a rescue, RAF rescue, not RAF, the ambulance rescue worker. So he used to drive to fly and help to pick up patients and casualties who had got problems, emergencies to be reacted to. So that was his job. And of course, it's such a risky job for a royal, especially one who is going to be in line to become king. Okay. Uh, oh, I haven't seen that actually, Lauren, but I'll have a quick look at it. Or do you mean the one that Catherine took? Because um, she had a few photographs. Camilla had a few photographs taken by Catherine recently for that magazine to celebrate Camilla's upcoming birthday. So are you talking about those photographs? Because I know one of them is really really awesome, and we know that Catherine loves taking photographs, and she's taken nearly enough all the photographs we see of her children, and most of those photos of Queen Elizabeth at Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. So she is really really great at taking photographs. If you're talking about that, I think that was really really wonderful to look at. Thank you so much for chipping that in here. Of course, when we are here, we like to catch up or share stuff that we might have missed. Yes, but yes, coming back to that issue of William and Catherine being summoned to by the Queen because of flying that private jet. Of course, we know they usually use commercial jets like everyone, but on this occasion, they used a private jet, and there were reasons why they used this private jet. Of course, we know this jet is a royal jet which flies royals on emergencies and also in situations where they need to get from place A to B on time. And this time round, of course, because William and Catherine were on engagement the day before, okay, so they had such a crash program to get to where they needed to be in such a short period of time. So hence, they had to use this jet to take them down. But Queen Elizabeth's issue with them is not using the jet, but flying as a family all together, bunched up in that single aircraft. Because her worry is, what if something happens to this small aeroplane? Okay, especially when we know that there is a lot going on, wars in Ukraine, no-fly zones, etc. Her worry is that this small jet could be mistaken for something else. Okay, and then you see how the line of succession is compromised, because you take William, Catherine, and all the children out of the equation. Who do we have? Harry. Harry comes into the picture. Harry's children will come into the picture, and what a mess that can be. What a big mess that will look like. Okay, so for the Queen here to summon William and Kate to talk to them about that issue and encourage, and tell them to stop doing that, is a way of saying, listen, I want this line of succession to be secured. I want you guys to know that you are the future of the royal family. Okay, and therefore you need to start living life responsibly. And she is very, very right. Now, Queen Elizabeth has been seen in videos and in some, most of these videos has been seen telling Prince William off, okay, for doing certain things. So we know this is not going to be the first time she will be telling Prince William off, okay. But of course, this time round, things are going to be very serious. And I think she wants to drive her message across very firmly. Because on numerous occasions, she has had a word with William to stop doing stuff and all that. And she's doing that because she wants William to be a great future king who is responsible right from the onset. Okay, and we also know how Queen Elizabeth is not particularly happy with Harry, with Meghan, and with how they are leading life. Her hope is William and Catherine. Okay, so to see William and Catherine start to live life very recklessly, like they are in that situation when they decided to fly in that jet as a family, Queen Elizabeth is going to be very firm, because it's still her responsibility to make sure that this line of succession is secure. Okay? No, Lauren, was that aired recently? Mm? Oh, the you mean the documentary for Camilla, where she gave an interview? Do you mean that? Okay. Yeah. So, guys, what do you think about this upcoming story of Queen summoning Prince William and Catherine? Okay. Hi, Andre. Yes, yes, you are. You're indeed here. You missed last night. Lauren checked in just as I was finishing, but tonight I thought I'd come on again, even if it's going to be a brief one tonight. But I thought I'd come in just to touch base with you guys and see what you're up to this weekend. Are you doing anything great today? How is the weather like? I hear in Colorado it's really hot, and it's been hot here in the UK, and apparently next week is even going to be hotter. So guys, prepare yourself for that heat. Make sure you're well hydrated, because apparently we might experience temperatures up to 40 degrees. Oh, that is going to be interesting. But anyway, back to that story, guys. So Prince William to be summoned by Queen Elizabeth, interesting. And Queen Elizabeth this time says she's going to be very firm. Okay, and her reason for summoning these two royal sweethearts is to try and question them why they are living life recklessly when they know that they hold such a key position in the line of succession to the British throne. Okay, so we know Harry is apparently the sixth in line to the British throne. So that is not really far when you look at it. So when you take William's family out of the question, in case of any fatality, then we are having Harry come in with his children, which is going to be mayhem, pure mayhem, considering what is going on right now. And you remember Meghan made some remarks a few weeks ago and said that Meghan and his family, so Meghan and Harry, are just one plane crash to becoming the kings and queens of the British throne. Okay, so they are observing this as well, and probably, thinking, right, okay, here we go. Okay, so the Queen was right to summon Prince Charles, and I'm not blaming, Prince William, and I'm not blaming His Royal Highness the Duke of and Duchess of Cambridge for what they did, but I'm saying they need to be very careful going forward with these emergency trips they are making in this royal jet. Okay, I would rather they arrive late to where they are going, or they rearrange than rushing to get to these places in danger, because whatever happens to them destabilizes the royal family, but also us as royalists who want to see this line of succession secure. We will be in so much trouble. I hope you guys see where I'm coming from. Okay, so we heard, of course, that the Queen is going to be summoning William for the second time. The first time was when, of course, she talked to him about flying the that helicopter with the air ambulance, and say, right, I think you need to sort of take a step back with that job right now, because it's kind of risky. And we know how much William loves flying jets. Okay, it is his passion to fly jets. He's a trained pilot. So you're always going to get somebody who is going to love flying. But when you are in a position like he is right now, there are certain things you have to abstain from, or at least minimize. And one of those things are flying those private jets, okay? Because anything can happen. if you can rewind back to some of these Meghan interviews, you will find one that Meghan said that um, Nanai, Lorraine, Nanai, thank you so much for stopping over, Lorraine. It's been great. And we will be catching up again around Monday time, Lorraine. So thank you again. Please make sure to keep hydrated over this weekend because it's really, really going to be tough. Okay, so thank you so much, Lorraine. Truly appreciated that time that you've spent with us here. I'm so grateful for the 19 and 8 people who are on this live tonight for your time. It's really, really not easy on a Saturday night stopping over and to listen to some of these messages because it can be tiring, especially after, running through the whole week like headless chicken. So sitting down to concentrate on something can be challenging on a Saturday, but I'm very, very grateful, guys. Okay, so that's the story I thought I would come in briefly to talk about. Okay, Queen's the Queen summoning the Cambridges when they come back from holiday. We know that they are having a fantastic time where they are, and they requested for total privacy, William and Kate, when they left for this holiday, because we know they have been really busy. Their kids have been in the limelight. We remember Prince Louis with his winning behaviors over the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. So William and Catherine said, right, our kids have had enough of the cameras, so we really want total privacy on this holiday. And that's what we have seen. We haven't seen any photographs emerge of them on holiday, so we are really, really hopeful they are having a great time. Okay, so I just thought I'd come on briefly to just share that little story with you guys and how the Queen was apparently not very, very happy with the Kate and William's decision to fly as a family bunched up together in this small aircraft. And the reason she's doing that is because she wants to see a secured lineage of succession. And she knows that she won't be here much longer, bless her, but she wants to leave behind people that she's going to be trusting. And among those people is William and Kate. Okay? Yes, Andre, they were. They were absolutely great in front of camera. And did you see Prince George on the, when was the Wimbledon Games? Prince George, suit and tie, and Catherine making those introductions of the young royal before the games started at Wimbledon. I think he was really, really gorgeous. And he has grown into a very, very good-looking young man who is going to be a very, very responsible future king. And Catherine has done such a great job with her children. And it's not been easy. Of course, we know she has other things to do as a royal wife, but also she has nearly 200 patronages, call them patronages, that she is spearheading. Okay, she has her own projects she's doing in early childhood development. Okay, so she is very, very busy, Catherine is. But to be a mother and a great mother like she is, alongside those duties she's doing, makes her so awesome. Okay, so I know that all mothers in the world are great, very good mothers, and they are very caring to their children, okay? But it is different when you're raising future kings and queens. It's very different, and this is what makes Catherine very, very special. To raise a future king or future queen is not easy. First and foremost, preparing those children to show up in front of camera, handling their behavior, tantrums in the way Catherine does. Okay, we know very well that Princess Charlotte had her tantrums growing up, when she was still a young little girl, and we saw in front of camera how Catherine was dealing with these tantrums. One of the common ones or the popular ones is when they flew together to, was it New Zealand, and we had we had Princess Charlotte, bless her, throwing tantrums and sitting down on the floor, and then we see Catherine carrying her and assuring her that things will be fine. So she's literally driven past all these tantrums of her children in a very calm and polite manner. So that is what makes Catherine very, very special. Okay, look at how she handled Prince Louis' tantrums or behavior over the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. And we know it was too much, it was hot, there was noise everywhere. Parents will agree with me that children in situations like those can really, really get frustrated. But it was really great to see how Catherine handled that. Okay, so she is a very, very busy woman, yet incredibly responsible and caring when it comes to raising her own children. And it is this love as well that has played a crucial role in the royal family itself, because it doesn't stop at how I can imagine being in a royal family, how it is, how she raises her kids. Yes. Hi, Phoebe, my dear friend. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, Catherine. And thank you for driving that point home, Phoebe. You are absolutely right. It's not easy. That the hardest job in the world in terms of royalty is raising royal children, royal future kings and queens. It's very hard because your children are going to always be in the limelight. Whatever thing they do wrong is always going to come back to you as a parent. Well, that is how you raise them. So we are seeing, for example, today Prince William and Harry, and how they were raised by Princess Diana and Prince Charles as a very loyal, loving, kind young men who we are seeing today. It's a shame that Harry took that path he has taken, but we can see Prince William's behavior and the love and care, and remember how their mother was the same in terms of, you know. So it is very, very important for young royals to be brought up fearing, to be brought up confident but also respectful, because they are always going to be in front of camera. Okay, dressing wise, we have seen how Catherine dresses her children. Of course, in the history of royalty, that's how royal children dress up. But then there are challenges of dressing up royal children, because what is what people might see as non-suitable, okay, is sometimes what the royal family, sees as suitable or suited, for example, for occasions. And I'm talking about this recent situation that occurred when Prince George was dressed up in a suit and tie over the Wimbledon Games. Everyone was saying, why is Prince George dressed in a suit and tie when it's bloody hot, when it's so hot, like it was on the day? But yet again, Prince William was also dressed in a suit and tie because he's a future king. So there will always be those norms that are supposed to be followed, and the way that royals show up in public. And that challenge is falling very much on Catherine, to dress up her children in a way that is going to portray them as royals who are also going to be future queens, future kings. So kudos, Catherine. Well done, William, for being supportive parents you are, raising up these children. And again, that brings us back to our story of Queen Elizabeth trying to secure that line of succession, trying to make sure that William and Catherine are there, are preserved to be there to drive the royal family forward. So anything that is going to expose them to risks, the Queen is always going to be very, very cross with that. She's going to do whatever she can to stop that from happening. And we see how the Queen obviously is dealing with the Harry and Meghan situation, simply because Harry, through that interview, bashed William. Okay, they bashed Prince Charles. Okay, again, this is Queen Elizabeth saying, listen, you do not talk crap about people I so much believe in and people I believe are going to be the future of the royal family. So we are looking at her, the Queen's temperament right now with regard to William and Catherine flying as a family in that private jet as a way of saying, I want to safeguard you from any danger that might come as a result, because you are the guys I trust to drive this lineage of succession forward in ways that are going to uphold the principles and values of the royal family. Okay, so guys, I thought I come on again so we have these conversations, because we need to always stay up to date with what what is going on, but also devise ways of how we can also help to see our royal family stay on and live on strongly. Guys, if you're not following me on TikTok, I'm there as Francis Page Media. I post near enough every day on TikTok, and I try to post some messages highlighting again what our royals are doing and a few areas that need to be paid attention to. Yes, Andre, thank you. Yes, so guys, what do you think about this whole situation of William and Catherine flying as a unit in that private jet? And we know that they promote, William and Catherine are one royals that have promoted our environment. Okay, so they have their project called what's that project? William's project, Earthshot project, again, which helps us to look at how we can preserve our environment. So many again can have come up to say, well, they flew in a private jet, but that is different because they are working royals who sometimes need to get from place A to B in such a short time. And also because sometimes that privacy in situations like moving with their children needs to be highly safeguarded. Now, can you imagine William and Catherine checking in the airport with the children and all that stuff, and how many images and photographs would be taken on that day? So they have a private jet as royals, which moves senior royals to places in respect of time, but also in respect of their privacy. So we will not sit here and say they are going against what they preach, but rather we are now looking at it in terms of we need them to be as safe as they can be, because we don't want anything bad to happen to them, because otherwise we risk ending up with the bunch of Harry and Meghan. Okay. Andre, is Bonnie in? Has she come in? Hi, Bonnie. You nearly missed this one, Bonnie. Yes, you did. You were on yesterday, Bonnie, weren't you? And it was really, really sad how our live ended, because we had a signal failure in here. So my network cut off all of a sudden. And I really, really felt bad because I couldn't even come back in to say thank you guys for the support. But hey ho, today things are great. Great to see you, Bonnie. How is Northamptonshire? I hope it's great. Andre, I haven't asked you how are you today, my dear friend. I hope you're all good. And it's glad to see these faces turn up to these lives every day because you are my number one friends when it comes to these messages and live streams. I really, really appreciate your support. Without you guys, this channel would be nowhere. And like I said in the beginning, this isn't my channel alone, but it is ours because when we come here, it is our safe place to come and hide, especially as we have a lot that is going on in the world of politics today. Okay? Yes, it was great. I thought, isn't it? We had a bit of a low turn up last night because I think Love Island was going on somewhere, and a few of our friends here sort of watch Love Island. I don't because um, I have really, really never sat down to look at it and get anything out of it. But it's really popular with some people, that program. Anybody here watches Love Island? Yeah. So, Bonnie, I know you've just joined now. We were talking about Queen Elizabeth not so happy with Prince William and Catherine's recent travel on holiday in that royal private jet. And her case is, why did they travel as a group, as a family? What if something happens in that plane? And then we have that whole line of succession, jeopardized or compromised somewhere. And the reason she's saying this is obviously because she doesn't want to see the Meghan and Harry's come in, because that's what we get when William disappears and his children. Okay, so it is, when they summon someone, when they call someone in to be told of, and you're all happy that they are doing it because you know that it is going to help all of us. And I'm quite sure when William and Catherine come back, they are going to be on their knees saying sorry, because obviously Her Majesty's caution is always taken seriously, very, very seriously, yeah. So, but other than that, guys, so far so good. Um, Camilla is due to celebrate her 75th birthday. By the way, let us have a brief chat about Camilla. I do think that William and Catherine should listen to the voice of reason. Absolutely, they should. They should, and they ought to, because Queen Elizabeth can see from afar. She is very, very great at judging things. Her sense of judgment, okay, is always spot on. Okay, so by the time she says something or does something, she really knows that she has to step in to make things right. Okay. So it is a voice of reason, and we can sit here and know how much we love William and Catherine. I know how much we think the future of the royal family very much sits within them and their family. So when we see our beautiful queen summoning them to caution them to change the way they have been traveling, we are happy to say that because we know the Queen wants to preserve the line of succession. So this is the first time in God knows how many years that I am actually very happy that this voice of reason, this summoning is going to take place again, because I too want William and Kate to be safe, the young royals to be safe, because we are very much riding on their on their on their future kingship, if you might call it. Okay. And of course, we know Prince Charles is a little bit late down when it comes to these things. Okay, so he would probably have been the one to summon his son and say, "Look, this has to change somehow." But obviously, we are seeing Queen Elizabeth do it. But I suppose that because Queen Elizabeth is still the queen and still the one who pretty much delegates duties and assigns roles, and even these summer breaks that we see royals taking, all of these breaks are awarded by Her Majesty the Queen. People just don't rock up and say, I'm going to Antigua, I'm going to St. Lucia, I'm going here. No, all these arrangements come through an organized sort of procedure of doing things, and everybody is ticked off to where they will be going when they are expected to be back. So we could sit down here and say, yes, that responsibility of telling royals off still very much lies with Her Majesty, gracious Queen Elizabeth. Okay. I'm having a cup of tea here, Bonnie. What are you having? Andre, are you having anything? Glass of wine, Lily. I know you might be having your ginger cup of tea as well. And everybody who is on this live, are you having something? Sergio, are you still on this live? Andre? Okay. We are missing somebody. We are missing Fiona. I think she's also partying today, being a Saturday. Phoebe, are you having anything? Are you having a glass of wine, maybe? Yes, peppermint does wonders, doesn't it, Andre? Did I ask you where you're from, Andre? I think you told us you're from UK, are you? Yeah, coconut water. Ooh, very, very healthy drink it is, isn't it? It's very, very healthy, coconut water. And probably one of those great drinks we can have before bedtime. I need to get myself that. Yes. But guys, I really appreciate your support, by the way. And I know last time we talked about, okay, yeah, you're in Canada, lived in UK before. Okay, Canada. How is Canada? Erin Turkish yogurt. Ooh, lovely, lovely. You guys are up to something great this evening, I can see. Phoebe, I'm planning to come to Turkey because it's not far away from us here. I'm planning to come to Turkey for a week at least. And Andre, apparently I hear Canada is very hot, but I know it can get really cold. And Bonnie, you know our British weather. Tonight it's cool, tomorrow it's wet. Okay. Yes. But we cannot complain here in the UK. I think we have had the best weather round this season because we really don't have so many summers. Our summer is always rainy, it's always wet, it's always cold. Okay, so we can't complain this time around because temperatures here in the UK have averaged around 30 degrees so far this week, and next week it's going to be 40. But I know in some places like Turkey, Phoebe, you will bear me witness where you are. I think it's very, very hot apparently in Turkey. And Canada, apparently it's really hot again today. So that really shows where our world is moving in terms of these environmental changes. Okay. But we are really, really blessed to be able to see ourselves through these lives, connect, share our views on the different royals we have, we always talk about here, which is very good. So I really, really appreciate the fact that YouTube has given us that opportunity. And of course, we have our channel growing here every day. We want it to grow so we can carry on sharing these messages. Now, a quick overview on Duchess Camilla. We know that she's she's going to be the Queen Consort, and the royal family now is encouraging her to start showing up more. We know she is stepping up. She has really stepped up recently, but they have now started giving her solo engagements, so she can also host functions. She can, she can go and visit places on her own without Prince Charles. And this is one way of trying to introduce the new Queen Consort to the public. And we saw her hosting that party for the Battersea Dogs. Those who don't know what the Battersea Dogs does, it is an organization that helps to rescue dogs and cats until they get their rightful owners. Yes, this is Simpsons. Yes. You see, we used to watch Simpsons when I was still a royal guard at Buckingham Palace. Every time I came off guard, we used to sit in the guard room and put Simpsons on. It was our cartoon that used to keep us keep us alive. So I thought to myself, I'll buy this mug so it will remind me of those days I used to be back in the days in the army. So guys, a little bit, yeah, it's still on, isn't it? It's still on Simpsons. I love it. Maybe next time we shall all decide on what drink to have on our live stream, so we can all toss a glass of wine or a coconut water or some Turkish tea. Phoebe, you need to send me some of that tea. Bonnie, you need to signpost me to where I can buy some coconut water. Those drinks are very, very good and healthy drinks to have. Yes, so I was talking about the Duchess of Cornwall, and we know that when of course, Prince Charles is now the the Prince of Wales, but Camilla is not the Princess of Wales simply because she said, in respect of Princess Diana, she didn't want to take that title. Okay, so she left that title to Princess Diana. And the only person since we've had the Princess of Wales, the only person who will become the Princess of Wales is going to be Catherine when William becomes the Prince of Wales. Okay. Okay, Tesco or Aldi, yeah. Maybe Tesco or Asda. I'm not too sure of these Aldi products. They can be dodgy at times, and I bought porridge from Aldi the other day, and I bought the same porridge from Co-op, and Co-op's porridge tasted a lot more finer, better than Aldi's. So I don't know. Not too sure of these Aldi products, but I'll try Tesco's because we have a Tesco's around the corner here, Bonnie. I'll try popping in and see if I can grab myself some coconut water. Yes, so, but the Duchess of Cornwall now has started stepping up. So we saw her hosting that dog event for the Battersea Dogs. And obviously we saw her hosting Christmas parties. And now that her 75th birthday is going to be celebrated, and that magazine was released with photographs of Camilla. Again, these were taken by Catherine. We know Catherine is such a good photographer. So they are trying to sell Camilla and try to introduce her to the world because she's going to be the Queen Consort. And as much as many people weren't in tune with Camilla, I think they have come to realize that she has really, really stepped up recently. And of course, there is what they call, what is the right word to use here? Is it reconciliation? What's the word? People now have reconciliated with Camilla for all that went on in the past. And they have come to terms that she is the one who has made Prince Charles what he is today. And she has given him that support that Prince Charles has had over the years, standing up for these engagements. Prince Charles is one of those very, very complicated royals in the past. But growing up to becoming the next in line, and the strong person he is in terms of his confidence, pretty much Camilla has been by his side all this while. So people have now reconciliated and have accepted the fact that, okay, so let her be. Okay, so that is why we have recently seen Camilla being shoveled into our face, being given those opportunities to go on solo engagements. She's hosting Christmas parties at St. James Palace, Clarence House. She's hosting that dog dinner recently in honor of the Battersea dogs. She has her photography sessions that were marketed by the royal family. She's had a magazine printed out with the Duchess of Cornwall there as the key figure on this magazine, because she's going to be the next queen consort. The queen wants to see her settle. Okay, so I'm actually watching TV here, and Camilla is on. Again, if I can show you what I'm watching, guys. Um, that's Camilla on there. Okay, so it's fun enough they were talking about Camilla same time I am here. So, but it's very interesting to see how Queen Elizabeth really wants to give these people that she has seen work for her day in, day out, that much audience now, and help them settle in before, of course, she hands over power. And we can also understand why she very much wants to see William and Kate secure from all these personal flights, because she knows they very much hold the keys to the future of the royal family. So, guys, it's been wonderful catching up with you again tonight, and I think this is our safe place for us to come and chill out. Still have my tea at noon. Love your info on the royals about celebrations. There, love William and Catherine. Where's King? Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you. I really appreciate it. These responses really encourage me. They give me so much power. Instead of porridge, yes, Bonnie, I think I'll try that. And because I love my breakfast, porridge, especially cereals and all that. And you really want to have some really good quality breakfast, because mornings are very important. How we start with our mornings, what we eat, is pretty much going to set the pace for how we survive throughout the day. So I'll give that a try. Bonnie, thank you for sharing. Andre, I'm really very pleased that you guys in Canada are supporting these messages. And of course, we know Canada is part of the Commonwealth. Okay, it's part of the Commonwealth. I truly appreciate you, Andre. Really appreciate you. Thank you. So with Canada, Australia, New Zealand, these are very important. I don't know how I can stress this. Very important countries when it comes to British royalty and our throne, British throne moving forward, because they hold the key to the whole love that we have from the Commonwealth countries. And this being the biggest, of course, is hope that when we still have them, we still have our royals marching forward even more strongly. And we know that Prince Charles and Camilla visited Canada recently, but William and Catherine are coming to Canada. I think it's going to be their next destination after they travel to United States. So again, I'll keep you up to date with these stories when we get them confirmed. But thank you for the support, Andre, and Canadians. Please carry our flag there. We love you so much, guys. Okay. So guys, if you have anything to say regarding Prince William, Catherine, and their travel in that jet as a family bunched up together, share it with us here. But I think that needs to stop, because we want to see them live more safely. We want to see them stay there to be future king and queen. Can you imagine the day William will become king and Catherine will become the queen consort? How great is that going to be? Okay. We know right now there are so many people who would like Prince Charles to pass that throne over to his son, Prince William. But we also again think that I think Prince William should wait and raise their children, because their children are still quite young, especially Louis. Um, and Prince Charlotte, Princess Charlotte, very young children. So it gives them enough time to raise their children. So I think Charles can carry that flag forward for a few years as William comes through. Because once you become king or queen, it means that you are going to be dead busy. Okay? And we have seen Queen Elizabeth carry that flag for a long time. We've seen her being to places. She has been to so many places, more than any royal, okay, in the history of the royal family. And this is what kings, queens do. These are the positions they get themselves in. Now, Catherine and William, being young royals, still raising their family, assuming such huge assignments will mean laying back slightly in terms of their parental roles to carry on these duties diligently. But again, we want these young royals, the Prince George, the Charlottes, to first get that love, support they need from their parents as they are still very young. Okay, so I, for one, would say maybe Prince Charles hold the keys to the throne for some time as William and Catherine level up their parenting. Okay, so that when that right time comes for them, so will that be. They are still doing an incredible job, even when they are not on that throne yet. And we have seen them on numerous occasions supporting Prince Charles and the Queen to carry out some of those senior duties in their seniority as senior working royals. Okay. Common as the royals should retire when they reach retirement age. What do you say? Yes. Okay, it's a good. That's a good point to raise. Queen Elizabeth is great queen, so respectful, and even when she visits other countries, she is absolutely on Phoebe with that. She has visited any more countries in the world than any other head of state, but wherever she goes, she leaves a mark. I think that country will always have Queen Elizabeth as their greatest guest ever to visit that country. Okay, so your question here, Bonnie, of royals retiring when they get to their age, I wish that could be the case. But the way the royal family works is that a new king or leader will come after one dies, okay, or hands over the throne. But we know that a lot of many of these organizations, patronages, and all that survive from being led by these royals. So the funding, all these charitable causes are attracted, or money or funding is attracted by these royals being very much in support of these patronages. So if we have them retire, then we will have so many of those organizations start to struggle in terms of funding. But also we know that Queen Elizabeth, as a figurehead right now, has people that work under her in their other roles. So as a head, okay, even when she gets old and she can't move, as we've seen her most of the time, she has people who are supporting her in those roles, who are doing stuff that she cannot do. So she's the figurehead there, but she has support down the line that enables her to still carry out her duties. So I think that's the only reason they can afford to still carry on even when they reach retirement age, because they have incredible support under that is working under them. It's not like they are going to be hustling and hustling. Okay, But again, with the reputation they have, okay, if they are still there as royals, you know, actively engaged in communicating with heads of states, with organizations, that is what keeps the royal family still moving forward. Okay, can you imagine Queen Elizabeth at 96 still making such a huge impact? So yesterday Queen Elizabeth visited that town, Maidenhead in Windsor. You know this. I think you've been there, Bonnie, in Windsor. So Maidenhead is a little town somewhere closer to Windsor. Queen Elizabeth visited there at 96 years old. When she turned up, she again made wonders in this city. Young, old, everybody was yearning to come and catch a glimpse of the Queen. So the older the Queen gets, the more people love her. Okay, so imagine when she retires and sits back in the castle and people can't see her and all that. So I think her age, the older she has got, the more she has even drawn emotions and people actually lining up behind the royal family for her incredible service. Okay. But guys, I think it's been an hour. I'm going to let you guys go and have a good night rest. If those in Canada, I know it's still very early. Phoebe, I don't know what time it is in Turkey right now, but here in the UK, it's a midnight, okay, a minute past. Take care of yourself, say the rest of the week, and love the Queen. Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you, Phoebe, Bonnie. You guys are incredible. Lily, if you're watching this live, Lorraine was on earlier. She left. Phoebe, Andre, I'm really, really, really grateful for your support here. And the 12 of you watching this live, Ashan, Stacy, I don't know if you're watching this as well. Sam, if you're watching this, Fiona, wherever you are, I do appreciate you guys and carry on this support. Let us drive these messages and keep Francis Page Media growing. Have a great rest of the weekend. We catch up somewhere around Monday, Tuesday. But I love you all so much, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.